We are at Mandarin Residences by Mandarin Oriental. This is one of the best projects in the whole city. It's located on the water, great brand, hospitality brand. Really great location and actual parcel of land. It's over 5 acres of land. And Brickell Key, it's your sanctuary with that boardwalk around you. You can walk, you can run. For families, it's great. Definitely, it's a great location to be in Miami. So, and the Mandarin Oriental Residences, right? This is the latest addition to it. It's going to be built right where we are located. Hotel component is going to be demolished. It's 30-something years old building. It's going to be demolished. New hotel is going to be built. Residential towers, 64 floors with lots of amenities. Adrian, my friend, how are you?
Good, thank you for coming.
No, first of all, thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much. We are the first one. Right now is 8:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Right, and we made it to make sure that you guys didn't start appointments yet, because offices usually get busy, and we weren't able to do the same type of interview that we do right now. So I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate the opportunity to do it before anyone else.
Of course. We wanted to get you guys in here as soon as possible because, you know, once 10 o'clock starts happening, we start getting a lot more appointments, and now it's nice and quiet, which is perfect for us.
And it's hard, by the way, even when you are I'm doing a lot with the other developments, other people, right? And sometimes you schedule something and they say, okay, let's do 5, 6, 7 p.m., right? There's no one is going to be in the office. You schedule that time. And there's always someone is coming in, you know, like walk-ins.
100%.
And you're thinking, okay.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you get used to it, but still it's better when it's quiet like this. So thanks again.
Of course, no problem.
Let's update on the project. So you guys opened the sales gallery, right? Maybe I would call it sales showroom.
Yeah, we call it like almost like our model pavilion, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's, we just opened this up officially. We had that big event last week. And now it's officially open to the public, really by appointment only. But now we can showcase really the beautiful finishes that we're offering in this project. And this space is so unique because we're right on the water. So we're surrounded by water. And honestly, the finishes are some of the most impressive finishes that I've ever seen in a new development, for sure.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, but you've been in the business for a long time, so this is a good feedback. How long have you been in the business, by the way?
Almost 15 years.
15 years. And by the way, I just had a little chit-chat behind the scenes. Adrian from Miami, it's like Miami local, you grown in here.
Born and raised.
And you know everything. It's also, I think, important part. I've been here for like 17 plus, 18 years. You know, I've learned since I moved here, but you've been here since you were born, and you've seen a lot changes, and it's
100%.
Always important to hear feedback and experience from someone like you.
The changes in Miami, honestly, it's been impressive since when we grew up. It was completely different the way that the city was, but just watching the transformation is. I feel like Miami is having its moment in time, like right now. Like we're all living in it, in Miami's most significant moment in time, at least to date, right?
Yeah.
Like all these big cities, like New York has its big moment, California has its big moment, but like Miami is having its moment right now. And honestly, the change has been all for the better because we all knew that the potential that this city has had for a really long time, and it's kind of finally starting to come to fruition, where everybody's starting to really take notice, and really the city's starting to grow, like from the buildings to the companies to everything. It's starting to finally come to life to really what I think the city really deserves.
Yeah. Plus, I remember everybody's talking about not work from home, but remote work, you know, back then, before the pandemic happened 5, 6 years ago. And I was thinking about, okay, maybe it makes sense that cities like Miami will be affected in a good way, right? The people will be able to work from here, and I don't know, they can have businesses from anywhere in the world, like online businesses, for example. And the pandemic happened, and it's really, how to say that, boosted, right? That factor. And now you can see how it changed. Plus, as you said, we have this moment in Miami. I think the as you can see, Miami changed within like 20, 30 years, right?
Yeah.
It's good to like go back and look maybe, right? We're in 2024, maybe in 2035.
Yeah.
I look back and see how the city changed for that like 10 years, 15 years
Yeah.
time frame.
100%. Even like this island that we're sitting on right now, like this Brickell Key Island, the developer here started acquiring land back in 1979 when there was really nothing here.
1979.
So you try to envision like a little over 40 years ago, there was no buildings on Brickell Key. That's how fast the city's moving. And now we're building on the last piece of land left on the island. So the city has kind of just been on a fast pace, but since COVID, it's kind of gotten on a rocket ship and just kind of taken off. But definitely exciting to see. Definitely exciting to see.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can imagine. And as I told you also, we had conversation, right? It's just not to, how to say that, not to sell your project to our viewers, but I was just looking right there and thinking to myself, I have a 2-year-old daughter. I told you, right, if I would buy apartment in that price range for my kids, I wouldn't even think about it. Where else in the Brickell? Because you on the island, you on the water, you with the brand, and the hospitality brand, and you are on this piece of land. So if you're looking to buy something for your kids, 10, 15, 20 years, there's no brainer on this part of Brickell. And you're on the quiet side of the Brickell, right? You're on the island, you just walk in all that, I would say, happening that you have in the middle of the Brickell. But still, you come back here and you're on the quiet side, there's birds,
100%.
and you can run around, walk. And
you're like in your own little sanctuary, but still connected to the hustle and bustle of Brickell. So whenever you want it, but you actually don't have to leave this island if you don't want to, because you have the park, you have restaurants here. You're gonna have the new Mandarin Oriental, which also has more restaurants. So you don't have to leave. It's a very, very special place, and you do see a lot of families here. So you actually, if you go to that park in the center of the island, like around 5, 6 o'clock, you're always gonna see families there with their kids, with their pets. Very, very family-friendly island, I would say. So it's
for sure.
No surprise for sure that you consider this for your daughter, because a lot of other people have as well.
And by the way, about the families, I used to live in the Brickell South or Brickell. I forgot the address. It's right around the Churn. And it's been, oh my God, 15 years probably. And I never, after that, ever lived in the Brickell anywhere. I used to live in Edgewater, downtown, other neighborhoods. And recently, maybe 2-3 years ago, I was thinking, maybe 2 years, about the Brickell. And only one option for me was the Brickell Key, because I have a daughter, right? And it probably was less than 2 years. And it was only one option, because you have a stroller, you have to like push that around, right? And to be, how to say, on the safe side, right? Not to think, okay, here's one car is next to you, another car next to you, and you want to be like a peace of mind. And this was only one option.
100%.
So great project. Tell me, you guys had official opening of the sales model pavilion, right? So let's update on what do we have right now, guys. Maybe prices, or tell me more. What do we have?
So we're now going directly to contracts. I think the last time we met, we were doing reservations. So we're now moved on to where directly all the new sales straight into contract. We still have great units available throughout the entire building. Units ranging from 2 to 5 bedrooms. The sizes range between 2,300 square feet, which is my smallest unit, which is not small, up to as big as about 5,800 square feet. And the prices are going to range. 2 bedrooms right now start around like 4.9 million. 3 bedrooms start around 5.9 million. 4 bedrooms are going to be roughly around 10 million, because they're higher up and they're much larger. And then my big 5 bedrooms right now are around like 18.5 million to 22 million. So nice wide range, but everything in this project tends to move very well, because these are larger units with large terraces. Kind of just think everything here is a little bit bigger than what you typically find in a Brickell product, for sure.
Yeah, because you have a resort type of living, right? And you kind of have your home, let's put it that way, in the sky, and plus so many amenities that you can use in the building.
100%.
And as you mentioned, terraces. I like the uniqueness of terraces that you guys have, and different floor plans, especially two bedrooms that we discussed with the enclosed kind of, I would call it dining area, outdoor dining area. I haven't seen it in Miami yet, and I've seen some condos,
Yeah.
and unless it's a penthouse or something, right, larger, then you can have, like, for example, Armani penthouse. I know one owner there, and he has it, but you don't see it in a smaller type of units.
Yeah, it's that unit in specific. One of the biggest selling points is the floor plan. It's so unique. You do have very unique plans here. Like even the fact that 2-bedroom has like 3 walls of glass, I think is super rare, and like the living and dining area, because I think that's going to be amazing, and that little courtyard area. So all the terraces are big, and just to kind of give an example, that 2-bedroom that's 2,300 square feet actually has over 1,200 square feet of terrace, which is very big. All the terraces here, the average depth is roughly around 12 feet, but it ranges on the smaller side from 8 feet to 12, but they'll get as deep as 18 feet in some of these units. So they're very, very big terraces, very big living areas. And like I mentioned, you also have the high ceilings also, which I think is fantastic. Here in the sales gallery, you'll actually notice that the ceiling heights here are about 10 feet 4 inches, and these feel high. And you're going to notice that the units come with even higher ceilings than the ones that we're offering that you're going to see here. So really, really impressive, because it's going to make the space feel even more expansive than it already is. So very, very unique from that perspective. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the developer knows that they had a rare opportunity here. When you have 5 acres on the tip of an island, you have enough space to really design the most ideal residences possible, which includes big living areas, big kitchens, big closets, big terraces, big amenities, right? But also keeping exclusivity, because you have the residential tower and the hotel tower separate, but kind of interconnected. So very, very unique. And it's funny because last week when we had the event, the architects were here, and we were kind of discussing with them and almost discussing how it was kind of like a dream blank canvas for an architect, because I mean, imagine how often does an architect get 5 acres on a tip of an island with water on 3 sides to design something exceptional, right? So definitely kind of almost like the stars aligning to kind of create this beautiful project and all the features that we have, for sure.
Yeah, and there's an opportunity for architect as well, right? To put his name or her name, mark on the project, right? Something like that.
100%, 100%. And the architect is, Con Peterson Fox, who they're well known around the world. They're fantastic, but this one is very, very special to them just because of the location. And it's not like one of those big pieces of land where developers asking to build, maximize it and build 4 towers here, right? Because we could have done that many, but instead we're just doing one ultra luxury residential tower and then the hotel tower, and then designing some amazing spaces interconnecting between the two. So definitely something very special. And I'm glad that you're here, because here we can actually see all the finishes and everything. And this is kind of what we've all been waiting for. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's walk around.
Ready?
Yeah, of course.
Let's do it. It's like I think it's like a hinge door.
Hinge door, I would call it.
But it's huge.
Like a Michael Jordan's door. Look at this. Shaquille O'Neal, right?
Right. So now we have our beautiful scale model. What I love is the way that we position this model is actually the way that the building is going to be sitting on the island. So you'll actually notice it's actually facing this way. So it's actually, the views are just completely panoramic. As you see here, we're kind of wrapped in water, right? Water on the west side, the south side, the east side. And like what we were talking about, remember we were talking about that 2-bedroom that has the 3 walls of glass? So kind of envision something like this space, right? Because here you have 3 walls of glass like this, right? But actually much larger in that space. So very, very unique design. But now when you bring clients in, obviously a lot easier to kind of explain the project with this beautiful model here in the centerpiece and just looking out towards the water and towards the bay.
Look at this.
Yeah, and then you notice here the amount of, remember you were mentioning the amount of greenery that you have on Brickell Key. There's a lot of greenery design as part of this project. And one of the cool things, actually one of the companies that I'm most excited about is Shama Design. That's actually the landscape architect that we're bringing in. They actually come from Thailand.
It's the Thailand, okay, yeah. I remember that.
So very unique, because we don't typically see landscape architects from Thailand. So it's nice to bring a fresh new design. And they're one of the best in the world, and the first time that they come here to Miami. So definitely exciting, because
it's a nice project to start from, right?
100% for them.
And there is no, as I see, no problem with the sun.
No.
Because you have so many pools and that I would call it sunrise, right? This
Yeah.
one right here.
Yeah.
And you can call it sunset. Some of the buildings, especially in the Brickell area, there's a how to say that?
So a lot of shade.
Yeah, there's a lot. Let's call it that. A lot of
Yeah.
shade here.
Here
And
you won't
can
have a problem.
sunbath any time of any minute of
Yeah.
the day.
They actually strategically put pools on each side of the property so you always have sun, right? Regardless of what time of the day you're gonna have. As long as the sun is up, you'll have sun on one of the pools, right? Which is cool.
So in the residential, just a residential tower, you have one pool right here,
Yeah.
second pool,
Third pool.
third pool, 3 pools just in the residential
Just
tower.
on the residential
Yep.
side. And
Plus
then
you have Laney, like a couple of pools and a couple of...
two pools in the hotel plus an indoor lap pool in the
Uh-huh.
hotel as well. So in
Oh,
total,
really?
they have access to
Even
about
indoor?
6 pools. There's an indoor lap
Wow,
pool in here.
you don't see it in Miami. You don't see it often. Lap
Yeah.
pools. Like if you go to New York, yeah, there's in the hotels
Yeah.
pools, indoor pools. Here's a.
But it's
pretty
great
rare.
for like the swimmers. You know, people like to swim laps for exercise. It gives them a pool to swim rather than swimming in a regular lounging pool, right? And also on the days that maybe it's nighttime and you do want to go for a swim or whatever it is, you have a pool that you can.
And it has that kind of also resort spa type of
Yeah.
feeling when you have indoor pool.
100%, 100%. So yeah, the amenities here are just obviously think above and beyond. And like you mentioned, most of the amenities are actually dedicated for the residential tower alone. But if you live here, you actually have access to both. You can utilize all of the hotel amenities as well. But it doesn't work vice versa. Two of the guests in the hotel don't have access to the residential. So you do get the best of both worlds, essentially, living in the residential tower, which is unique. Again, because of the piece of land that we have, we're able to kind of design it that way, because typically you have the hotel mixed into the same building, right? And you lose a little bit of the privacy. Here we have them separate, but interconnected with the podium, but also still maintaining the separation, which is nice. So,
And here's a parking right on this side.
yeah, so just below the amenities, you're gonna have the parking garage. Yeah, you're gonna have the parking garage below the amenities, and it's a mixture between, you know, assigned parking and valet. But definitely sufficient parking for all of the residents.
Penthouse is not sold yet, right?
Penthouse is not sold yet, man. We're waiting for you. Penthouse is not sold yet. Yeah, so it's basically either going to be one very big penthouse, a duplex, the top 2 floors, which the cost would be
Was it like
100 million.
20,000 or the square feet or less?
No, the square feet is close to a little over 15,000
15,
square
okay,
feet
15.
of interior
Around
space.
7,000 a foot, right?
Yeah. It'd be 100 million for the top 2 floors if you do the whole thing, but if you cut it in half, it'd be about 50 million if we split it into 2. So kind of depending on whichever buyer comes first will determine whether we do 1 penthouse or 2 penthouses.
There's a series of sales, those type of units. There's some of them are public, some of them are not official yet, but since I kind of work with other guys, there's some of the buildings they did sold their penthouses, and this is it says a lot about the market of Miami, right? And new development sales, especially in a building like this. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna sell yours.
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten a lot of interest
maybe
on it.
within a year or
It's-
so.
Yeah. And it's one of those units that you kind of, you know, you can do some great customizations to it, right? When you're talking about a unit that large, right? We can kind of play with the plan a little bit, trying to make it to the client's needs and desires. And definitely we've had a lot of interest on it. Just we have some people that we're still talking to about the penthouse, but they're kind of mulling over the plan and everything like that. But for sure we'll sell it. It's just a matter of finding the right buyer for it.
Was it you that we did presentation for a Chinese client? He was looking for penthouse.
Yep.
Yeah, because we were waiting for him to come in the winter as well.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep. And he seemed like a great client. He liked the Mandarin Oriental, kind of like a
Yeah,
perfect fit
it's
for
no brainer for them.
this
They're
one.
familiar with the brand.
100%. So one thing to note, I don't know if you can get it with the camera, but definitely if you get a chance to kind of shoot this shot here, because this you kind of see how the building is kind of wrapped in
Positioned,
water.
yeah.
One of the most unique things about it is how often you get one singular tower wrapped in water like this. It's very, very rare.
So I think important part that needs to be given here, like is going to be present from our company, from my company, sunglasses. You know,
100%.
you have so much water in here. It's, the
100%.
views are going to be incredible for sure.
Sunglasses, some tennis shoes, so that way you can go around the island, but then your beautiful island living is kind of a dream property essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely amazing. But you notice also that most of them are corner units, right? When you look at the building. So that's why our terraces are so large, because they wrap around the whole building, right? They wrap around the entire unit. A lot of times you get these corner units, but they only have terraces on one side. Here they actually wrap around the units, which is nice. So
yeah, it gives you ability to step outdoor, right?
and with this view, why wouldn't you want to just have a wraparound terrace that goes all the way around, right?
And we can see right there, right, the kind of pretty much like a model of the corner.
Yeah, kind of like a model of the corner, which we'll go take a look at now. We'll go look at the model. So remember that 2-bedroom that has
Terrace?
that has that terrace. So imagine
did you call it courtyard?
Yeah, it's like a courtyard.
Okay.
So imagine you walk down that hallway. When you're walking down that hallway in that unit, you actually have floor-to-ceiling glass. So you have an interior hall with floor-to-ceiling glass.
And
like
table right here, you can see.
And with a view out towards Brickell. Yeah, it'd be absolutely beautiful.
I like that wood color.
Here we have, obviously, our beautiful finishes. This is our kitchen. This was designed by Tristan Auer, the interior designer we talked about. Molteni is actually the company that's building our beautiful kitchens. Right?
Molteni, yeah.
Molteni's fantastic. This is actually a vignette kitchen. When I say vignette, I mean basically like a little bit smaller kitchen than the ones that actually come in the units. And this is smaller than the ones that come in the units.
Usually developers do opposite, you know, they show you like 4-bedroom
and the unit
they're all
kitchen, a lot smaller. Yeah.
And if the buyer doesn't know about it, you like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, what is the size of the bathroom? What is is that for 2-bedroom, 5-bedroom, or penthouse? And they always, oh, you know, this is for larger units, you know, smaller units. And you guys did opposite. It's also unique.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'll tell you, the only reason we did that is because we needed the space because we have a closet built out with a bedroom and a full bathroom. So we're a little bit limited on the space. But even so, this is a good sized kitchen for any typical residence in Brickell. But this island, for example, is about 8 feet long. The typical island is about 9 feet. And then you also have like a 5-foot breakfast table attached to that. So imagine how long these kitchens are actually going to be. They're very, very spacious. And this, even being a regular sized kitchen, is also a good size.
And you have built-in cabinets, right?
Built-in cabinetry. So the beautiful thing about this island style is that you actually have the island like this with a breakfast table that's typically attached here with seating here. So what that seating does is that it frees up your island. So your island is just completely open for entertainment, cooking, whatever you like to use. And your seating becomes more comfortable because it's at a regular seat height like this, rather than sitting on a bar stool where you're kind of a little bit hunched over, right? Kitchens are very, very practically designed, really for people to, because you know, most people end up, when you have people over, people hang around the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of how this is designed, for people to really enjoy and utilize.
So you just want to have a bite, for example, or you have a glass of wine sometimes, you just stand in next. I just had it with my wife, actually. A couple of, I think on Sunday, we kind of have similar type of, what do you call it, the kitchen island, right? And same thing, we were just standing, you know, cut some cheese, like talking to each other. And it's very useful for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And with the kids, they can sit, you know, you have to like go formally to dining table, you just eat, have a breakfast and lunch.
And then when people come over, you have the whole island, like you said. You put your charcuterie.
Also for the kids, since I'm talking a lot about the kids, guys, sorry. But I have a 2 years old. You put, I don't know how you call it, like it's pretty much like a chair, but a standing chair. You just adjust it to here.
Okay.
And your kid just standing right here, you know, while you're cooking something, and you can interact with the kid.
There you go.
And it's also very convenient because height is similar as this one.
Yeah. All the appliances here, of course, are Gaggenau, right? So our refrigerator, for example, freezer are right here. Right, you have these beautiful large side-by-side refrigerators in most of my units. Some of them you have the little bit smaller version where it's the top and bottom, but they're all beautiful Gaggenau, which has the stainless steel on the inside.
Yeah, I love
so
the way they build it.
Very cold, right? This is basically
those Germans, you know, they know how to do things.
Yes, they do. This is basically the best of the best, as you know. You have the beautiful coffee machine, convection microwave as well, and your conventional oven, and then you also have your wine cooler down here. You do get a couple options for the kitchens. So this is actually one of our options. This is the warm option. There's another color option where the stone is a little bit lighter in the color, but the cabinetry is a little bit darker. So we do have a couple options that clients will be able to pick from, essentially, which is nice. Just so that way everybody doesn't mandate with the exact same kitchen. Give it a little bit of designed into their taste, right?
Okay.
But everything that you see here pretty much comes standard with the backsplash, the way that you see it, you know, the beautiful cabinetry.
It's like matte feeling.
Yeah, yeah, it's all like that honed finish, which is nice. It's not shiny. It's absolutely stunning, like honestly. And the even the fixtures, you can actually have some options in regards to these fixtures right here, which are going to be mostly going to be Dornbracht, between like a champagne color or a platinum color as well.
The sink itself.
So
Look at this.
Yeah, I know.
It's not just what you usually see, right?
Yeah.
The color itself, it's different, and you already okay.
Yeah.
It catch your attention. I like it. I love it.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Okay.
The details
It's
here.
deep enough, white. All those details. Why I'm talking about it, because all of that is very important. You know, we're salespeople, right?
Yeah.
Me and you, and since we've been in the business a lot, right?
Yeah.
We can see through the
through
the BS, let's call it that way, right? And we can see when things are really useful, right? As the thing, I'm looking at it.
Practical. Yeah, for sure. Which is something that I love when they did the design of these units. There's a lot of practical design to it, right? So when you look at it, sometimes you get units and they're beautifully designed, but they're not as practical when you actually use them. This one was designed around not just beauty, but practicality, like real use, right? So that's kind of why Tristan, the interior designer that you saw in the event last week, that was a big influence for him. So when he did design the breakfast table attached, he's like, look, it's because this is the centerpiece. This is where everybody hangs out. We want to free up the island, include the seating, but really open this up completely for people to hang out and really enjoy. And then the additional storage on the bottom is always a nice plus. But yeah, I mean, I'm in love with the kitchens. Actually, I'm considering that when I I need to do a remodel in my house on a kitchen, and
so you have a lot of ideas,
right? Island
right?
style with the breakfast table attached. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it. If you actually look at this living area, like what we were talking about, the ceiling heights here, this is about 10.4.
So every unit comes with the same...
with about 11-foot high ceilings.
11
slab to slab. But after you install the marble or the travertine, call it a 10-9, 10-10. So think roughly 5-6 inches higher than what this is right now.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And this is high as it is, right? So one other thing that I love that what we did in this model, you'll notice if you look at the corner over there, you see how the glass just butts up against the corner. In most of our units, our concrete columns are outside on the terraces.
Really? Okay.
That's nice because typically in a corner unit, you have a big column there. So in this case, it actually kind of shows you how that connection of glass is going to look in the majority of our units.
It's not blocking your view. Well,
it's not blocking your view. And it's basically
and
just
plus you have to think what you got to do with that column. You're going to wrap it with a wallpaper. Maybe you're going to try to figure out maybe TV or maybe like something else.
Yeah, you have to get creative.
Yeah, you have to be creative. And then the furniture, you have to also kind of see what type of furniture is gonna
it's gonna fit the space. Yeah. Flooring comes included. This is actually one of the options. This is a travertine.
Travertine, okay.
Yeah, 24 by 48. There's going to be multiple options for clients to pick from. That they're not going to pick just yet. That'll be a little bit later on when we're getting ready to buy material. What
are other options? Like you're going to have wood?
Yeah, they're all travertine, but they're
different colors.
Different colors, yeah. But we don't have them here in the sales gallery yet. That'll be later once clients are getting ready to pick. So in our master bedrooms, all of our closets come built out for the master. And this is the design created by our interior designer, Tristan Auer, which I'm in love with because it's a very, very clean and elegant design. Comes with the LED lighting as you see running around. Most of our units actually have the pedestal inside of the master, inside of the closet. Some of them don't, depending on the size of it, because if it's, if it will be an encumbrance, like if it'll take up space, then they won't put it in there, but most of them do have it. So beautifully designed, as you see here. And that, that's very rare. Typically developers don't include your master bedroom closet being finished, especially with this level of design.
What about the ceiling?
So this skylight, this round skylight is included, but the herringbone wallpaper is not.
Okay.
That we're not doing.
It can be an option. You guys, if you get this, you have to ask for sure. Look the way it looks like. It's just a little detail wallpaper on
Yeah, it's
ceiling,
just
right?
a little detail wallpaper on the ceiling, but we decided not to include it because it's not everybody's style. Not
Yeah, of
everybody's
course. I
taste.
mean,
So
this is personal taste,
yeah, we'll
As
do it more
people
neutral.
sometimes-
I love it, and some clients are like, "Oh, I love it," and the other clients like, "I like it, but it's not my personal style." So I was like, "Okay, so we're not going to include because we don't want to force it on everyone."
What we can do art from Alec Monopoly type of thing, if someone prefers. No, but it looks, me personally, like it matched what I see right here. That's I guess why he put it.
Yeah, 100%. I love it, but then again, everybody has their own design taste.
Of course.
Right. Yeah. But we definitely wanted to make sure that we took care of at least the largest closet for the clients, for sure, which is always typically the most expensive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it takes time and effort to build out customize it, and then with the smaller. And this is the main thing, right? Because if it's not your especially like main property, right, and you use it as a vacation, so what do you need for sure is just at least your master closet to be ready, and you can move in and use it exactly, and then
you don't have
the others you just store luggage there.
100%. So now we're kind of walking into the sample master bedroom. This is actually a sample midnight bar that you have in all the master bedrooms, right? Which has a nice little beverage cooler down here and then extra little storage down here. This is great because you put your waters or whatever you like. You don't have to make that trip to the kitchen in the nighttime if you're thirsty or whatever it is. So very, very convenient. Very Mandarin Oriental-esque, I guess you can say.
And if you're thirsty, guys, you have to drink water for sure. Like a lot. Here, when I wake up, I drink water. Sometimes in the night I can drink a little bit, and it's very convenient. When I saw that first time, it's been a while ago. I asked myself, like, what is the point of it? Kind of. You're trying to understand, but really those things are
as you get older,
useful.
You start making you drink more water.
Your knees hurt. You don't want to walk to your kitchen.
100%.
Save a trip.
So this area in particular, this is actually a sample master bedroom, just to kind of give you an idea.
What size of the unit?
This is this is roughly about 17 by 19 feet, if I'm not mistaken. So one of my 3 bedrooms that's like 3,200 square feet has a similar size to this.
Wow.
So it doesn't replicate all the master bedrooms because they all vary on the plan, but I do have plans that have master bedrooms like this and some even bigger than this master bedroom, which this is a very spacious master.
I want to stay here.
I know, right?
Wow.
I know.
Wood paneling, the way I see it right here, is that...
so these portals, we call them portals.
Portal.
So kind of like,
where is a portal?
A portal is this.
They call it portal?
They call it portals, yeah. Okay. So it's almost like transferring you from one space to another space, essentially, yeah. So you do have these...
Who came up with it? I'm just curious. Sometimes when I hear something like portal, no, I'm not against it. I'm just curious.
Where it originated, I don't know.
Portal.
I'll tell you, this is the first project I've had where we have these portals. Because typically you just have a doorway, right? You don't really have this, but they're kind of transitioning you from one space to another space. Yeah.
Interesting. Portals.
Which is nice little details of like all this wood that you have here. And then when you walk into the master bathroom, you're going to notice even more.
Follow me. This is portal, that's for sure.
Elegant portal, exactly, right here. So this you actually find when you walk into your master bathroom and when you're walking into your living area. So that's why when I say the details here are just a little bit higher than what you typically find. And this
I like
stone
the way it's polished.
Yeah.
But the same thing, it's not like like plain, right? It has some holes.
It still
in
has
it.
its grains in it, the holes in it. Yeah. And this is actually the interior designer's favorite stone, because we asked him that. So we're like, oh, which of the stones of all these, because there's a lot of different marbles and everything mixed in, is your favorite piece? And he's like, my favorite is this one, just because of the color. This is like a very timeless look. It's like,
and if you put it in a bathroom when you walk in, it's like, you see it in the resorts, in the spots, for example, areas. I like that portal. Okay.
And then this is our sample master bathroom. So this marble that you have here in the center is basically like the centerpiece for the bathroom. This is a beautiful Cipollino marble. Cipollino.
Is that Italian?
Greek.
Greek. Okay.
Yeah. Sinks are made out of Taj Mahal quartzite. This beautiful stone that you have here. Fixtures are all dornbracked, right, coming out of the wall. This is all standard with the lighting. Also have the marble on the backsplash here. your little medicine cabinet.
Where did you guys get that marble?
It's beautiful.
Wow,
yeah.
Look at it.
And because it's marble, there's no two that are the same, right? Depends on the cut, so the variations are going to change slightly.
And if you look closer, you know, the way it's here, like the colors.
There's a lot of different colors.
Transition from one color to another.
Yeah, wow. It's beautiful. And then your cabinetries, you actually have a couple options for the cabinetries as well. This is like a darker tone wood, but you can actually get a lighter tone wood as well. So you do get a couple options. Water closet, right, with your typical toilet. This is actually a Duravi smart toilet. So has bidet features and the whole 9 yards. And then if you kind of walk this way.
Oh, you're gonna have spa. I mean the sauna.
So sauna, we actually have them in our big 5-bedroom units. They have the sauna automatically designed and planned. So we did want to showcase the sauna. The saunas are actually larger than this one. This was just the one that we could fit here. So if you love the sauna and you utilize it often, it's kind of nice to have it in your own unit. You don't have to go down to the amenities to utilize it. But this is included in my big 5-bedroom units. They have the sauna built in, designed into their master bathroom.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you, or I don't want to hear you. Please don't bother me.
And then here what we got is our wet rooms. So basically in all of our master bathrooms, you have these beautiful wet rooms with your rain shower and your soaking tub within the same space. This is a beautiful marble on the back side of your wet room, which is nice, right? Just like an extra little design feature.
It's not just nice, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
The selection of stones that, who did it? Who picked?
Tristan
the Parisian guy?
Yeah.
Wow, what's his name by the way?
Tristan Auer.
Tristan
Auer, yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Like, wow.
And these are details that you don't typically find. Typically like this, the portals, right? Even like the sink what you were talking about. Those are details that you don't typically find when you're selling new construction, but the developer is like
installed with the taste, not just you know, everything white, or everything black, or everything Carrera marble or something, right? You just see like details that he put at every, I would say, part of the bathroom, right? 100%. How many you have? Like one type of stone. Second, how many options? You have like 5, 6. Probably different.
Yeah, but 5, 6 different types of stones.
Easy, 5, 6. So we walked in one, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easy, 6.
He even went as far as when he designed these little nooks to put products, like he designed them so that they're indented in here because he didn't want them to get water, to get wet. Because sometimes you have the nook here and it'll get wet and it'll get really nasty with like soap or whatever it is. So they're all kind of tucked in so that way to protect them against the water. So it's very practically thought. Like a lot of it is very, very well thought out when you talk about the design. And even the space, the design is so that you get out of your soaking tub, you get dried here, and as you get wet, everything just gets drained directly out to just slopes down to the drain. So you can wet this entire area and it just slopes down to the drain. So. This terrace, just to kind of talk a little bit about it, the depth of this terrace is pretty similar to the depth of the terraces for the units, right? On the deepest portion, I think it's a little bit over 12 feet. And all of our units have a section of it, the terraces where they're 12 feet, but they range between 8 to 12, and some get as deep as 18 feet, right? So they're really big terraces, really designed to put real lounge chairs, as you can see here, like real dining tables, as you can see, this one that we placed over here. And one of the most beautiful things is how you see we're on the tip of the island. I mean, imagine that's Brickell over there on this side.
Yep.
You look south, you have Key Biscayne. And then you look east, you have Fisher Island and Miami Beach.
Yeah.
So you're literally basically seeing almost all of Miami, right? Or at least a big portion of Miami just covered in water, right? How often do you have an amazing location like this? That kind of speaks volumes as to why the attention to detail is so high, because the developer knows, right? You only get one chance to do something amazing here in a property like this. You don't find another 5 acres on the tip of an island in Miami.
Yeah, especially if they secured it like 40 years ago and they just decide to build it, you know, not to waste
100%.
I would say all that time they were waiting for. That's important, you know, to leave the mark and not just to sell and make the buyers, right? Future buyers, owners to be happy with the space, because I think it's a good
They definitely wanted to do something
Good idea.
legendary for sure.
And what is it? Summer kitchen is going to be outdoor or no?
We
Like
have
a barbecue?
a wet bar that's going to be
Wet bar, okay.
on the outdoor space.
Can you put electric grills on? Is that approved by the? Do you know?
It's not approved. We initially were considering doing the electric grills on the outside of the terraces, but the city was, from what I'm told, the city was asking us to do fire sprinklers around all of the terraces on the outside.
Even for electric grills.
Even for electric grills, which doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
But, for us, it didn't make sense to do it because we were going to have to drop our ceiling heights in order to do the fire sprinklers to run the piping. So we said, instead we'll do wet bars on the outside and keep our really high ceilings, which is nice because sometimes electric grills are great, but sometimes you find that they don't get used as often as you originally anticipate them getting used.
I agree with you. I've seen it sometimes when they installed and they just get rusty, and nobody's using it. And especially when they are built in, right? And you have to remove that stuff. You have to install floor because when they build in, there's no flooring.
There's no flooring, it's just right on the concrete.
Exactly.
Yeah. So here we just said, forget it. We love our high ceilings. That for sure everybody will love forever. So we went that instead. But the terraces are all very big, just kind of similar to kind of what you see here. But actually, you notice in the renderings, even these, it's not going to have like this style where you have these posts that kind of connect the panels. The terraces are actually, the glass actually anchors on the bottom portion, so the posts are non-existent. So that way you have uninterrupted views regardless whether you're sitting or standing, right? So really, really cool. This is just more like a typical balcony that we use here, but the ones that come inside of the residences are even more clean and just seamless completely. So another little detail that you have.
That's important detail because in some buildings, I think in Biscayne Bay they did it, a couple other buildings.
Biscayne Bay they did it, but they had the posts.
But in the middle, there's no
post.
Oh, really?
So the post, so imagine you have this is all glass because it anchors on the bottom. So on the bottom portion, it's all anchored, so you're not going to have these posts. So then it's just completely clean.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I think anywhere yet.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's the system that they have where it just anchors on the bottom. So it'll just completely seamless, which is going to be really, really nice.
Don't worry, guys. It's not going to be that seamless because the glass is going to get dirty sometimes. But still, it makes a huge difference when you don't have those separations between the partitions.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Adrian, anything else you'd like to add?
No, actually, the sales are going great. I would say come take a look at the finishes. Definitely, any of your clients, anybody that wants to come in, definitely come take a look at it. It's definitely worth seeing in person. When you see it in person, I'm sure you'll be impressed because it's the most beautiful project I've been. Yeah,
it's no brainer
so far.
It sells itself.
It's absolutely amazing
in person when you come and see it.
Yeah, and the comfortable thing is now we still have that 40% deposit schedule, but it's pretty flexible.
How it is? It's 40. How much at contract? 20?
It's 10% at contract, 10% 90 days after, 10% at groundbreaking, 10% at delivery at top off. I'm sorry.
When is delivery? Groundbreaking at delivery.
Yeah, so groundbreaking is estimated right now for the end of next year, Q4. Top off estimated for, I would say, Q1 2028, and then delivery is estimated for end of 2029. So think about 5 years from now.
You have enough time to buy penthouse here and to make sure you will have money coming from your business and you can move it here.
100%. So it is a big project, so it does take a little bit of time naturally, but this one I think is definitely worth the wait.
Oh, for sure, definitely. I can tell you, trust me, I can tell you for sure. I've seen a lot of projects and this is the one of the best ones in the whole Miami. And if we're talking about a Brickell, as I mentioned, there is no brainer. It's just a great investment. And as I mentioned before, that you would buy it for kids. It means if you're thinking that you're gonna buy it for kids, it means like this is the best. What
your kid is gonna be very happy here. You're actually gonna want to stay here as well because I mean it's a beautiful development. It's funny because a lot of times we'll get clients that are like, oh, I'm planning to buy it, and then I don't know, maybe I'll use it some of the times, maybe not. And I'm like, trust me, once they deliver this unit to you, you're gonna want to use it yourself when you come and see the space and the services and everything like that. I think it's one of those, but yeah.
I'm actually in a meeting with one of the penthouse owners from Sunny House. I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah. All right, sounds
Adrian,
good. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, my
Appreciate it,
friend.
Denis.
Always
Yeah,
good to see you. Very detailed presentation. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man, for sure.